have their Mantel mix ready? Did you already eat it all? Are you waiting until the end of the show?
I was trying
Mine
to
just
figure out
showed
if
up.
that was like that's like
This
it
looks
looked like the popcorn that gets like covered in like white
Red.
chocolate or something.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. And
dyed
just,
and
different
stuff. That's what it looks
flavors.
like.
Yeah,
DoorDash just dropped off my
Popcornopolis knows no bounds.
Yes.
They have reached
Intergalactic franchising.
Yes.
good for Popcornopolis. Seriously. Well, hello everyone. Welcome. Sorry that it blocks your head there, Alex.
Yeah, well,
It's his hat.
now they can't
Okay.
tell I just shaved my head.
Yeah, it's a
There
great
you go.
hat. If you center more, it's a wonderful hat. There you go, right there. Now I can't unsee it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Let Your Spoiler Sideshow.
Hello.
I am Paul, joined by 3 of the 4, well, now 5. Wait, 5? Technically 6? How many Bad Batch members are there? There's 4.
How many Bad Batchers are there?
Yeah, this
So-
is definitely a Bad Batch.
We are Bad Batch. We're the JV Bad Batch. Let's
Right,
go with
waiting
that.
to get called
Put
up
me in,
to the big
coach.
league.
So, what is Let Your Spoiler Sideshow? I'm going to tell you in just a second because this is the first time we've ever done this show everywhere. Normally, we've been just doing the show in Clubhouse. And we want to just give everyone... Alex, you ready?
Yeah. Oh, wait. No, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
I'm
Let
ready.
me know
I'm
when you're
ready.
ready. We'll do it.
I'm ready.
A huge spoiler alert.
Spoilers ahead.
Spoilers. We're letting you know now. If you have
That's not
not,
obnoxious at all.
people love it. If you have not seen the Bad Batch and you are not caught up on the Bad Batch, maybe even some Mando stuff, we recommend. This is the only time you're gonna hear us say this. Maybe just turn the sound off. You can still watch us.
Yeah, maybe don't
can
watch.
We're very expressive.
Yes.
We should put the banner along the bottom. We're
Boom.
going to leave this along the bottom the whole time
okay.
because if you are just joining us and you are not caught up, turn around and walk away. Go do something else because spoilers.
I'm gonna go through.
We are
some
not like
fun-
we're not kidding. Like everything is
Yeah.
fair game.
Everything is fair game. We even got some really fun theory grenades, as Joe Lombardo called them, that we're going to toss out a little bit later.
Yep.
A little bit later in the show.
Yeah.
But for everyone out there, I'm gonna go through a little bit of level up.
Me too, Laura, and I'm not okay.
Nice. She's caught up. Go through a little bit of housekeeping, and then we're gonna get into full spoilers. So this is your 2-minute warning. So
Yes.
we are on our very, very last show of Level Up Week Day 1. We will be back tomorrow, of course, at 9 a.m. Alex, we have this. I think we do have. There it is.
Yep.
There it is.
Yep, there
At
it is.
9 a.m.
Read it quickly.
At 9 a.m., we have our New It Sideshow Live, of course. Then right at 10 a.m., we have an episode of Unsealed and Revealed. Destiny and Resident Evil fans, rejoice. We've got some really, really great 6 heels and figures that we're going to take a look at. And at noon, it's a busy morning and afternoon. We've got a win, lose, or die episode. That is going to be Jasmine's episode. I will be hosting that alongside Amy Cassandra Martinez. That's going to be so much fun. And then, of course, at 3 p.m., Alex, me, and Krista are going to be taking you guys to a totally 80s trivia night. We're very, very excited. Again, thank you to everyone who participated today. And, of course, we've got giveaways, rewards, Facebook group exclusives, the entire rest of the week. Side.show/levelup21 to register right now. You can still do that. And then, of course, side.show/levelupblog21 to see, sort of as your guide and your beacon through the entire event. Now,
Let's say this one more time, and I think Amy should say it so that all of us have said it at one point. If you're watching right now, Amy, go ahead, take it.
Spoiler alert!
boom,
We got-
spoiler.
Like literally everything is fair game, honestly and well and truly. And because these shows are so set in an intertwined galaxy, there's going to possibly be spoilers for other Star Wars adjacent properties, but we are absolutely talking any and everything that is Bad Batch. So we are deathly serious. This is your last official. No, I mean, we're going to be warning you constantly.
Yeah,
but
we will keep this up at the bottom of the screen the whole time. But
I think I might change
nobody
mine
can
to
get mad at
spoiler.
us for spoiling Bad Batch for them.
I love crossbeard hair. That's that's a good one.
So, without further ado, let's get into episode 7 of The Bad Batch, titled Battle Scars, directed by Jennifer Corbett. Oh, I'm sorry, written by Jennifer Corbett and directed by Saul Ruiz. Now, let's go over initial reactions for everyone.
Well,
Autumn, let's start with you because you just watched it.
Well, first of all, I'm not okay. I just finished watching it, but I did want to let everyone know who is watching. My job today is going to be scanning your comments and pulling you guys up on the screen, your comments up on the screen. So as we are discussing these various points, if you have something you'd like to contribute, just type it up in the chats and I will bring it up on screen and we will read them out loud and make it part of the conversation. Also, I did just finish watching about 10 minutes before the show aired, and I'm not okay. That was really, really upsetting. I was starting to fall off of the fandom of the show. My initial excitement was starting to wane after the past few episodes. They were fine, but nothing that was really engaging me. And then this episode was it brought it hard, and I'm all the way back in. I had to hold Grogu on my lap for the last half of it. I wasn't okay, and I'm still not okay. He was we are not okay. We're not okay. That's my initial reaction. It was amazing, wonderful, but I'm not okay.
What about you, Chase?
I will agree with Autumn that I'd actually lapsed during the long holiday weekend, kind of forgot to catch up on it, if you can believe such a thing. But I did manage to go through them all this weekend. And I agreed that there were some really nice, fun points that I enjoyed in 5 and 6. But 7 was the one that really drove the plot forward. And now I'm very, very excited to be back on it, back caught up, dueling with this and Loki as well. Yes. But it's very interesting because I have my Star Wars brain about this episode, and then I have my Dungeons and Dragons player brain who has been given a cursed artifact that made you try to kill the whole party feelings about it too. So I'm I'm approaching this one from different perspectives. But yeah, I really enjoyed the way that this one got the story back on and kind of put some thrust, got their hyperdrive back in gear and put some thrust behind the plot.
Finally. He was just waiting on, what was it? He was just
waiting on Echo.
Waiting on Echo, yeah. Echo. What about you, Crossbeard Hair?
I just feel like parroting everybody, but no, I agree, because I was starting to fall off a little bit, and now, there were elements of each episode that I really cling to. One I want to scream about because I'm really excited because I'm a weird old person. But this episode really brought me back into it. Rika.
Rika. And we will all be pronouncing these names through the eyes of Omega.
Amiga.
Yeah.
What about you, Paul? What did you think?
So, yeah, I mean, hot take here, but I was also falling off with the show because I guess it's no surprise, but Star Wars has not always been my bag. So I am it's weird. I'm going back and forth. I'm just wrapping up Clone Wars. I'm almost starting Rebel. I'm very close to starting Rebels. So to sort of jump into the Bad Batch for me, initially was difficult because I was I don't really know who these characters are. And even some of the stuff in episode 7 where it was fun little hints where Rex is saying last time I was here, it didn't go so well. I was just I feel bad because I was it means nothing to me. I don't understand. But then reading it and then seeing how other people, I've got a cousin who's a huge fan. He's oh, but that was so significant. It made me sort of appreciate this episode more. It just felt like this episode was going forward. So,
sorry, hold on. Nope, that's not it.
Nope, not it.
I'm good.
It. There we go. Bear Geek says that you called it.
Thank you.
I remember that. But yeah,
I don't want to brag, but I've watched a lot of stuff.
I had no idea.
Yeah, but
well, hey, and if you are joining us and you do remember the Clubhouse chats, it's fun for people joining us to see how things are progressing here.
Captain Rex!
Captain
Rex!
Oh,
so
blow
great.
your drums out.
Don't want to yell too loud.
It was fun to see. What is it? Baka, the planet.
Bracca.
Oh,
Bracca be sort of integrated into the animated verse, which I don't know if it had been. And in my head, I'm I've played Fallen Order. I bet no one else has caught that.
Hey, it's video game week, and
I know, it sure is.
And it ties in. We have tied it in.
Oh,
Bracca,
Autumn,
Bracca.
we're just gonna get into it. Can you bring up?
There's our legally mandated video game.
Can you bring
content.
up Daniel Douglas's? He says, "I'm just happy they finally removed the chips. It was driving me nuts that these guys just kept going on about their lives with the chips in their heads. That is, for me, the best thing that they've done to help this show,
Yeah.
I feel is remove the chips, because it was such a, I mean, for lack of a better word, it was kind of like a plot crutch, really,
Yeah.
where they're like, it's this
They all
looming
had-
threat.
They all had grenades in their head with the pins removed, but they're like, it's fine. These haven't gone off yet. Like, we're going to be
Yes,
fine. And
exactly.
it was, I loved seeing Rex come in, who has a history with the clones, obviously, and has his own perspective, coming in and giving our heroes you are not as smart as you think you are. You are incredibly skilled and unique in the way that you are the Bad Batch, but you guys are not smarter than, like, a technological fluke that affected everybody else, and having Rex have that perspective and see the clones kind of go through that. I think I really liked that seriousness and standing up to the heroes.
The trauma on his face too, like he's like, you guys are my buds, but like, whoa, like he totally freaked out.
Sorry, bringing up his face, if I might jump I love that bit with Omega saying, you're a Gen 1. How did you know? The lines on your face. And it was both a kind of reference to the Battle Scars title of the episode, but also just the grief and the weight of everything.
Yeah.
And in these episodes, I've been noticing more actually just the animated textures, and they really do give them a really rough appearance. And it's so cool. But I love that moment of like, the lines on your face, which could mean so many things as well.
It could mean just age, or it could mean experience and you know, like you said, just traumatic things.
Omega had, it kind of reminded me that she spent her entire life around clones, that she just like knows what a Gen 1 looks like. I'm sure she's seen Gen 1 clones before, so it sort of reminded like, oh yeah, like she's a clone.
Especially because she's seen the same face in thousands and thousands of troops, so she knows the intricate differences between those who have been through it and those who have not.
She could butt actually any other clone person. She'd be like, well... I've been around all of them.
And definitely what Patrick just mentioned is a big topic that this is one of the things that I had been talking about when we were in Clubhouse a while ago, is like, is Crosshair somebody who betrayed them or a brother who has fallen that they need to go rescue? And this definitely kind of sets them on that path.
We didn't get a lot of time to have them think towards Crosshair, but I would love to see in the coming time I hope we do get to see Wrecker grappling a little bit with, like, he knows that he's fixed now, but he was capable of that. I hope in the next couple of immediate episodes we get the group then realizing, oh my God, this is what happened to Crosshair.
Les Leo says it's going to be hard though for them to get him and get to this place and do this. Like, it's a challenge. They may now they know they may need to do it. They may know now they need to do it, but can they do it?
But they also mentioned, remember when I think it was Tech was saying, oh, this is absolutely not sterile enough. And Rex said, well, do you want to use the facilities on Camino? If they get back to Camino, they have a facility. They could forcefully, but that's not much easier than getting back
out of there.
Yeah, but there is a facility that could possibly.
And I'm telling you, I'm standing by my theory that they're gonna get Crosshair in the second to last episode, try to remove his chip after he's been doing all of these terrible things, and they're gonna be like, oh, his chip's already been removed.
Yeah,
like,
this
is
doing
all
terrible.
He's just terrible.
This is what Carl just says. They're gonna remove his chip and he's still there. Or Mike says they're gonna have a sad moment and he's gonna be a casualty of the chip, that he won't survive it.
That is possible.
So,
but I'm with that original theory though, like that he's just going to be bad, because we looked at that all the people he's surrounded with, like they sided with the Empire voluntarily, his team. So maybe that's part of his personality too.
They're thinking that maybe he'll show up to that place and they can catch him there. Don't know. And Michael Gordon says they could do it on Camino.
And I'm sure there might be other places. Like, my question was, because again, I'm still sort of catching up with like Rex's journey, you know, let's say, where is Rex after this? Like, have we seen Rex after where he is in the Bad Batch?
Yes.
We have. Is he in Rebels?
I believe he's in, there's the three of them in Rebels, right?
Somebody
Rex,
said something
Wolf,
about
and who's the third one? Why can't I remember the third one?
Cody.
Cody's
I
gonna be so
remember.
mad.
Is it Cody?
No, I don't know if it's Cody. Oh, now I got to look it up. please.
Rex
If only
is
there
in
was a
Rebels
device.
and Empires. Rebels, everybody's saying.
Oh,
Yeah, I know
okay.
he's in Rebels,
Okay,
but
so he is
who's
in
the third?
Rebels.
I know it's
Oh,
Rex
Old
and
Man Rex. Yes, that's
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and Gregor.
Gregor.
Oh,
That's the third one.
Gregor.
Gregor.
Oh, wrong show. That's no.
Yeah.
When's our Let Your Spoiler Sideshow for What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah.
Oh, please, the next season's coming soon.
September
excited.
something.
Gregor. Everyone's
But
letting
we
us
all
know.
have
Yeah,
to do
Gregor.
those with. We have to have the fangs in our mouth through the whole review.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So I think now with sort of where we've seen the progression here, I bet Crosshair.
I don't like the way you guys think. I mean, you're all very, very smart and perceptive, but I don't like
It's also
it.
dark. Yeah.
Name is literally Bad Man. Comes up with the meanest thing possible.
Yes.
And I'm going to read some stuff that we have because in our Let Your Spoiler Sideshow Facebook group, I asked everyone, I was like, let me know your theories, and I'll read them. So, from, we've got Aaron Carla Casto, they said they're going to come across information about the other clone children like Omega and launch a rescue operation to free them all. One of them will be named Grogu. So, I think it's a theory that people have been sort of kicking around that like at some point we'll get Grogu's name dropped in this show as in the same sort of batch of clones that like Omega is. Yeah.
Man, how would you pronounce her Grogu's name in her accent?
Grogu?
Grogu? I don't know.
It's
like
pronounced
really deep,
Grogu.
like
I don't understand.
I don't know enough to.
Grogu?
I guess we'll see.
We'll find out.
And then Lauren Ashzarillo says, with their chips removed, they go back to save Crosshair. Crosshair was the one with the bounty on Omega. They remove his chip, but he still betrays them and turns them over to the Empire. We find out Omega has the abilities of all the members of Clone Force 99, being the Omega clone, and she is what the Kaminoans deem to be perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, he was at the temple, right? That was confirmed. Yeah, because he was one of Luke's.
No.
Oh, right. Yeah, because this is yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
There's so many Star Warses to keep track.
There are,
many Star Warses. Yes.
You gotta get the red string
Yeah.
pointing to each of your theories.
Charlie Kelly, like Charlie Day.
Oh, Leo has an interesting comment. He says, Rex makes it all the way to the end of Return of the Jedi. He's in the Battle of Endor? Interesting.
Is he?
I guess. I'm not going to argue with
I can't remember
Leo.
because as we said, there's so many Star Wars. So I do need to go back and watch
I will
that.
fully admit not being caught up on Rebels.
Dan Douglas also said. So.
Return of the Jedi, yeah, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, I think one of the more... I don't know. I guess one of the more interesting points is now that the chips are gone, like, so the biggest looming, I guess, problem is someone capturing Omega, right? Like, I think that's the problem. And we still don't know who put the bounty on her, right? I think that's another
not
big
confirmed, but
not confirmed.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I was gonna say
the Kaminoans.
I think it's really interesting that Fennec Shand is billed as new on the scene in this, because when we get to the point of the Mandalorian, we do see that she's deadly and feared and has a reputation about her. But it's very funny to see. Oh, that's Fennec Shand. She's pretty shiny and new, but she's extremely cunning. So it'll be fun to see the rest of her involvement in this series, which I hope she gets at least 2 or 3 more episodes, not just like one more and then it's but seeing how that kind of changes.
Rex is the bearded rebel next to the bunker in one of the scenes in Return of the Jedi, and then several other people confirmed the same thing in the chats.
Oh yeah, there he is next to Solo.
Okay.
So
we're seeing some updated reports in the chat that it's not necessarily canon. He's retconned or who knows.
Yeah.
My question is, how does that play in to Bad Batch?
I know.
And where does that go from Bad Batch? Because so this is, I mean, we don't have an exact timeline, right? But again, a couple of weeks after Order 66 was given, maybe a month now at this point. So this is right before Episode 4.
B4.
There's little ways to go.
Yeah, we got a ways to go.
Yeah. I guess, and then so Mando being after the original trilogy. Man, it is hard for me to keep all of these movies
Oh my
in my
gosh.
brain.
Autumn, where's your
I honestly
spreadsheet?
think I know. I was gonna get my spreadsheet. Even somebody like I've watched them all, and then I watched them all in order again to like get the timeline. It's still hard to keep track of. It for any fan. It's just hard to keep track of. So
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah,
They were saying it's about 20 years or 19 years before A New Hope right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
you gotta
yeah.
let Luke Skywalker grow up. I mean, he
Yeah,
was just a whittle baby right around the time
Yeah.
of 66.
Yeah.
You know, just a little baby.
Right.
Yeah.
I did like that someone had posted. It's the scene from. Oh, geez. I Am Your Father. That's Empire Strikes Back. Where?
I'm your father.
Yeah, I got it. Where it was Vader talking to Rex, and he's saying, "Oh, didn't you know what happened to Master Skywalker?" And he's like, "Oh, you killed him." And then he tells, he's like, "I am Master Skywalker." Now that would be an interesting scene.
By the by.
Yeah, because Rex doesn't know what
FYI.
happens at this
Actually,
point to them.
I am.
That's the Star Wars equivalent of I want to talk to your manager. I am the manager.
I am.
This does a full circle. Yeah.
But getting back to Bad Batch, I did want to bring up something before we go too far off the intergalactic rails. Where we're still all pretty sure that Omega is probably she is the perfect version. I mean, again, I'm
Right.
still hung up on the Kaminoans saying like, well, we only need one, and it's probably not like, oh, we could just grab bag one of the Bad Batch, and they're all pretty special.
Yeah,
it's
we
like
don't
we only
need one
need one.
random.
They need one, and it's probably Omega. I think it was interesting that right out the gate with the first couple of episodes, everybody was like, bam, we just saw her do a Wrecker thing, and we saw her do a Crosshair thing, and we saw her do it. How they've kind of walked that back a little bit with the training to combine both the strength of Wrecker with the bow and arrow and the aim of Crosshair. So it was interesting to see her kind of build that up, because in episode 6, when she is, and forgive me, I forget which of the Martez sisters she's aiming at, but when she is aiming at one of the Martez sisters, it's noted that like while she can still
Rafa.
and Rafa, she could still like make the target in that little skeezy den they were in. Like she hit the target, but it was difficult for her to sustain that. And so
right.
I think it's interesting that is like maybe implying like, okay, she kind of had hints of having these abilities, but it would have to be trained up to really come through. JJ Joe wants to know, do we know if Omega has a chip? I don't.
And a related question, like these two questions, I think are important.
I am 100% on board with the she is
Are we
force
doing this
sensitive.
now?
Can we do this now?
You want to drop that
here's
grenade
another
in?
one.
Here's the grenade.
Is Omega an Anakin clone?
Well, I don't know if I have different theories. Oh wait, you can take the Joe grenade. That's all you.
I'm gonna say no, because she loved dirt when they got to Saleucami. She loved the concept of dirt, and I feel like that's just adjacent enough to sand that a true Anakin clone would not be.
I'm not an Anakin clone.
Not a
his
fan of sand.
genetics.
No.
I'm not an Anakin clone person. I am a Palpatine person.
Yeah.
Before we go crazy with your grenade, I don't think Omega has a chip. I think it
No,
was
I
that
don't
she
think
was
so
young
either.
enough, not intended to be a Jedi killer. I don't think she
So,
has a chip.
Omega says she has no chip.
Okay.
I mean, I believe you, but would that be just because you say you don't have one? Does that mean, how would you know?
No, I don't have a chip.
I don't have a bag of potato chips right here.
Yeah.
I totally don't.
Yeah, I don't think a child would need an inhibitor chip. It especially if for a different purpose they want to use her.
Exactly.
They
It's like
probably
Boba,
have.
Oh. Daryl is circling around the grenade like a young Steve Rogers.
Do the
Yeah,
grenade.
I see the grenade down
so,
Do the grenade.
Joe Lombardo just randomly came into our chat and said, like, he didn't even pose it as a question. He posed it as a fact. He said that Omega is Rey's mom.
Yeah.
That's what he said. And he said that she's a Sheev clone.
She's totally a Sheev clone. And I said, who else would think that hair is cool except for a Sheev Palpatine clone? That hair is a total Sheev move. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what scene in these episodes made me say she's force sensitive?
Which one?
When she was talking to, by the way, Rhea Perlman does the voice of Sid. Rhea Perlman
Oh, so
from
good.
Cheers.
She sure does, yeah.
And she brings the Rhea Perlman to and Sid like walks up and she's like, "Oh yeah, you're totally Sid." Just like staring at her like you're Sid. I'm telling you, she felt it. She felt it with the brain.
Palpatine's clone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's Palp's clone. She felt it with the brain. She knew what was going. She's force sensitive. That's what I think. I'm hitting my forehead really hard and it hurts. It's gonna
I feel
turn
like
red.
a lot of people are stumbling on the same, coming up to the same grenade.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think during this period in time, all of these force-sensitive clones that may or may not be out there, they will be, like, they should all be cloned or born now, right, around this particular time. It's like Grogu, because he's at, what, 50 by the time we see him in Mando. Yeah. So that this is all of the same era, so I guess that's not unlikely.
Yeah, so Grogu would be like, and again, forgive me my timeline, he's like 15, 20 years old at this point.
Yeah.
Though it's
still
interesting.
Eating his toes like a little baby.
Because Larson B on YouTube brings up, so that if Omega is Rey's mother, Jodie Comer played Omega in The Rise of Skywalker. So that would be, I mean, that would be who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah,
here's another theory. Could Omega become Captain Phasma? There's no way to prove that she couldn't. Like, I mean, is it open to that potential?
I'll allow it.
Would that hat fit? Would that hair allow for a helmet?
I don't know.
It already looks like a helmet's been there.
There's a
canon reason why she couldn't be.
There's a canon novel. I didn't read it, but I know that it was kind of her youth. So, but I don't know where in the timeline that would fall.
Yeah.
Youth. By the way, I just want to show you that Rhea Perlman is Sid was circled in big letters when I was watching the show. I was like,
Chris said she knew Crosshair was going to betray them before it happened.
Yeah.
Wait, Chris, show your work.
Yeah, she does have a little bit of the preternaturally aware, kind of, where you think of a group of five grown men who've had experience on the battlefield and in the world outside versus a child who's been in a bubble city the whole time. Like, I don't know.
I'm bringing people.
Mike says his head hurts, not because of a chip.
He needs one of those med patches.
Yeah.
I will say I do think that again, one of the best things for this show again was to remove that big. Is MacGuffin the word? When it's like a thing that's just leading. Is this the right word? The inhibitor chips.
I don't know, because the MacGuffin's usually the MacGuffin is usually a more beneficial object to solve a problem, like that just magically solves a problem as opposed to causes a problem. Okay. But I don't know. Someone can correct me if the definition of MacGuffin is flexible enough. I mean, I wouldn't say that the chips are enough of a.
I'm going to be the Google person here.
We have multiple people who have said this in the chats that she is a clone of Anakin's.
Oh, after his hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
A clone of his hand? That's what her hair is. Her hair is just a hand.
I don't think she's cloned to be a hand. I think they took the DNA out of his hand.
Well, I mean, if they wanted DNA, Anakin had limbs and everything all over that one planet. After he got them all cut off, they could just grab one.
I like this, Raymond. Omega doesn't have a chip. She's genetically engineered, and by the time she's born, they've made advances in creating clones that they don't need a chip. She is the chip.
I don't need a chip. I am the chip.
I am the chip.
That, like, really, like.
Okay.
She's a chip off the old block. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Don't allow
it. That's interesting too. I wish we could all be in this room talking because there's some cool. Yeah, that she knew what was going on just from knowing the clones and just knowing their behavior and his behavior.
Right.
I want to, while we're kind of talking about like the knowing and the where the behavior deviates, I liked the plot point of the Wrecker incident that the power of friendship couldn't save the day. Like Omega was like, "I'm your friend, I know you," and for once.
I was cringing, like I was like, please tell me that they're not going to do this, because I was already another thing that I circled and was happy about was that they stopped with the "you can't come with us."
Magic of friendship.
Yeah, you can't come with us, but I wanna. Okay, and I was like, stop it.
after the Moochie episode where they're like, get in the ship, and then the ship was dangerous, in episode 6 where they let her go into the facility with them, and it's like, yeah, finally, like, just because how many times can you do stay in the ship, but like leaving the kid in the ship proves advantageous. Yeah. And everybody's told to check the hold, and nobody finds anything in the friggin' like ceiling and the whatever. But loved that the power of friendship did not save the day. And again, proving what Rex said about how dangerous those chips were. But we got an indication that Wrecker was aware of himself when he finished. He said, I tried to fight it. I really did. And it's those stories of like the mind control incident, or like you're not yourself. Do you know what's happening? Are you aware and horrified, or are you completely unaware of it? So
a la Supernatural.
I think that'll play into there's a Buffy episode about it. Ding.
There sure is.
Oh, you guys got it in.
I think that'll play into I think that'll play into Crosshair when they free him, because he will have had full awareness of everything he's been asked to do.
Right. So is it like, is he trapped in his own body sort of situation, or you know what I mean, like what you're saying?
Or is he going along with it?
He's going. Yeah, that whole going along with it is.
Or is like the inhibitor chip inhibiting him from, or prohibiting him from being like who
worse
he really wants to be. Like he could be so much worse, but for whatever reason he has like some base programming that he can't.
He's like,
Carl Cardozo points out Rex and Ahsoka was the same. Friendship could not overcome the chip there, and I think that is important to show that like that's how powerful the Empire's technology is.
Yeah, but they're aware of it. They can't control what they're doing, but they are aware of what they're doing, which makes
it's like some Winter Soldier situation. You know what I mean? Where like he regrets everything that he did, even though he didn't do it, but he knows he did it. You know.
And you know,
this is interesting.
Each of the special clones has a special ability. Omegas could be some sort of knowledge or control of other clones. Maybe that's why she's kept close to the Kaminoans. What?
Oh.
Create a child clone that the other clones can't resist, like taking along for the ride. Like, can you just say no to that face?
Yeah.
Look at that hair.
All the time.
Look at that hair.
Recent Darth Vader comic shows Luke hand being used for cloning.
For cloning, yeah, that is
clone hand Luke.
Nice.
That's a Western.
Nice.
Nice.
That was.
Not good. Thank you.
No, that was chef's kiss. Good.
Will the Bad Batch crew find a way to eliminate the chip in all clones, thus paving a way for stormtroopers? And
I was
going to say we're already on the road to stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Well, and we haven't gotten back to the elite squad yet, and that kind of idea. We haven't seen them in a while. I think we're overdue in an episode or two for a revisit with them and what the heck's going on, and whether or not Crosshairs just killed them all for insubordination. You know, like he probably would. But there's a lot of interesting.
Fulcrum you will know. It could be how we learn.
Wait, Fulcrum.
From
spoilers. Wait, hold on.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Wait, hold on. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Let Your Spoiler Sideshow. We're talking the Bad Batch episode 7. If you're just joining us, hello. Welcome to day 1 of Level Up Week. This is our last show of the day. Again, we are talking spoilers for Bad Batch.
Yeah, and all of Star Wars, really.
It's like subliminal marketing there.
Yeah. All of Star Wars
superliminal marketing.
Superliminal.
Yeah.
Amy's bringing the puns today.
Yes.
Laying them all out.
And to be clear, being spoilers for Bad Batch is also going to mean spoilers for all of Sideshow, because all of these things do tie
all
into
of Sideshow.
All of Sideshow. And also Star Wars.
There you go.
Star Wars.
Fulcrum is from Chuck. No, just kidding.
Here it goes. In the first episode, they say that Omega is a medical assistant.
That's
true. They do say that.
She can get into those tiny spaces in between people's
ribs.
This
is an important question. Dwayne.
Nice.
Yeah. It is a fact.
Nice.
Fulcrum was the name of a code name used for rebel informants, and in Rebels we found out that one of the people utilizing the Fulcrum moniker was Ahsoka, and that was how they kept her identity hidden until the fight on Malachor kind of reveal with Ahsoka showing back up around that time. But I believe the Fulcrum title has also been used for other characters, but that's more extended stuff. But most notably it was Ahsoka. So Leo Monaghan says, no, Rex in Rebels points out to Kanan that he and his clone buddies removed their chips, which he wouldn't say if all the clones had their chips removed. You know, it was just him and his 10 closest friends.
Yeah, true.
Cassian was
Like
also Fulcrum.
flying to go to
Thank
the
you.
club.
There we go. I knew there were some
Cassian.
others.
Oh, okay.
Now, I want to bring up just a little note, and we might not have a whole lot to talk about this point, but I liked going back a couple of episodes to the Moochie episode because I love Moochie.
Moochie.
Um,
Out for Moochie.
Omega learning the concept of slavery and what a slave trader is. I think that's very interesting, and we'll see if she ends up reconciling any of that, because the way they talked about it very frankly with her. I like that they didn't dumb it down. Like, these are people bought and sold as product against their will. They don't have a choice in it. I wonder if that's going to lead her to an understanding of that's what the clones are. If she's going to kind of have that comprehension of that's what the clones essentially are as well.
Right.
In which case, I'd love to see an L337 style uprising for clone rights at the same time, or just a little before, leading the charge before the droid rights campaign.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just love
L337
so much.
I was going to say, did we get Phoebe Waller-Bridge back now? Is that what that means?
Droid rights!
Yes. But we don't tell her that it's Star Wars. We tell her, like, no, this is Fleabag. Just don't tell anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Just go nuts.
There's droids in Fleabag now.
Yeah. That's fine.
So that's a plot point I'd like to see her have as she continues to mature. And I think this was also a really good episode for her character development, because again, it's no more just stay in the ship, kid. Oh, you're the thing that's going to help us get out of trouble because all the rest of us got compromised. For an extremely competent team of troopers, they do get compromised a lot.
So we keep hearing that they're really good at their job.
Aaron Carlacosto says maybe by destroying the Camino facility, it will deactivate the chips in all the clones, freeing them. That is very possible, like a hive mind shutdown.
Yeah, and Laura points out in Rebels the clones are being phased out, and they're not really valued all that much.
Yeah.
So I wonder,
they're being phased out with guys who can't aim.
Is there like a farm that old clones go to?
Yes. It's a farm upstate.
Seems like there's an awful lot of clones that exist. What happens to them?
That's what I'm wondering. And
that's such a freaking weird ethical question. Like, dude, you just put a bunch of clones out into the galaxy. It's like, what are they gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
what are they
gonna do?
There's do they have their own chain codes? Are they
hundreds of thousands? Like how many clones? How many clones? Yeah, here we go. Michael says the same thing. Have they ever indicated what they did with all the clones once they replaced with stormtroopers? Did they just go out into the world? Because would you guesstimate that there's hundreds of thousands of clones, or is it millions, or is it tens of thousands? Like how many clones were created?
Clones.
No, there's got to be millions.
Mantelamix is made of people.
Oh no!
It's made of clones.
Nice.
What is this? A clone clubhouse?
What is a cloning facility for ants?
But I did like the indication that Omega is ultimately afraid of being abandoned and left alone, which I think again could play into all of that of like, where do the clones go? What's going to happen? What like we see her have fear and understanding of her own situation, just being like, I don't want to be left alone if all your chips go bad and no one can stop you.
Michael, hold on, says they age faster than regular people, so they will die sooner.
That sucks.
That does
That's right.
suck.
That sucks.
I feel it.
Yeah.
These poor dudes.
I'm 16.
Yeah, Alex is a clone.
Oh no! I just looked at a picture of old Rex, and now I look at myself, and I'm like, oh man, I look like old Rex.
I also like that they're like, hey, D. Bradley Baker, you don't have enough on your plate. You want to do one more voice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's...
And then he says that, what are they going to do when they're not useful? Yeah. And millions.
Now this comment is a bummer, Autumn, but I want you to bring it up by Gummy Bear Geek, because I also thought this. Like, this is going to be Crosshair's big, mission. It's his job to get rid of the clones.
Order 66, like his own personal Order 66.
This is
Order 67.
Order 67. Yeah. Order 68 is everyone just have fun. Try your best.
Here's another one that's real dark.
I know that
makes sense. Oh gosh.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, it's just like an off switch.
How am I gonna recover from this stream with all of this misery?
AJ says they address it what happens, but it's not canon now. He says they get clone sickness because they were designed to die young. So basically,
so it's
they
like
expire.
when your products are designed to fade out after a couple of years. When you're, I know someone.
This is so dark and depressing.
Darnock,
Welcome
looking
to
at you,
video
Apple.
game week, you guys.
Darnock
liking
on
our
Facebook
event.
says that the Empire is probably not concerned with the ethics. I understand this, but
Yeah.
man,
That's pretty harsh.
man, it's
Yeah.
like
Still
we're
pretty
all like, yeah, woo, Star Wars, love it, use the Force, and now it's just like on the dark side of that. I'm like, there's a million clones
Force.
in this, like
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
this completely
Just look
ethical,
at it.
unethical, horrifying. I'm
I
gonna
mean,
be up
from
frankly,
beginning
they're
to end, it's unethical.
like-
you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're like replicants, which makes total
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
Joshua Manette says planned obsolescence. That's exactly what it is. Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, see, isn't this fun, Facebook user? Aren't we all
You're
having a
welcome.
great time?
All sunshine.
Oh,
Who's cutting onions?
oh God.
But
Autumn,
Oh.
Carl is asking a real question there.
I saw that. Wait, where'd it go? Is Mantel mixed better than Red Vines? I'll have to let you know. I doubt it, but
If
I'll
it's
have
like
to let you know.
If it's like the one at Galaxy's Edge, that's pretty good.
they have
Yeah.
Mantel mix there.
I think it's Mantel mix.
I don't
but
think
it's,
that.
But it's like purple and green popcorn, which looks like what Omega and Rika
Yeah.
were eating.
Rekka.
So I'm
How
calling it.
much are they eating that they ran up that tab? By the way, with
It was like-
I
with
mean-
Sid.
Wait, what is it? It was like 15 cases of it or something.
It was like yeah, it was a
What the heck?
lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I would
Yeah.
eat Mantel mix like right now.
100%,
That stuff
yeah.
looks so good.
It was delicious.
Caramel
So
corn, but like different flavors. Anyway,
I
continue.
think, well, we will continue to. We've got a couple more notes and some other
let us know
points.
your theories.
I was gonna say, I want to know what everyone's theories are as to where this show is going. We're in the very last episode. We're the last, last 45 minutes of it. Where do we think this show is going?
Oh, I wanted
Because-
to know
Would be
people's
sweet.
theories on what Mantel mix is made of, but
I don't know if I want to know that. I think
But-
that's way more terrifying.
this Friday is the
Yeah.
halfway point of the series, and it depends
Yeah.
on whether or not
Okay.
entirely
Mhm.
we're going to get a second season or not, because this is a lot of the Disney Plus projects, as opposite
popcorn.
Mandalorian.
Is what it's called.
hmm
A lot of these Disney Plus projects that are coming out
Yeah.
are very much a one and done season because they're filling in gaps that don't necessarily need to go on for a long time. So first of all, I want to know if people think this is a one and done season or if we might get a continuation of the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
I personally think it's a one and done season, which means we're going to hit the halfway point and it's going to hopefully go full throttle to the end.
I hope
I'd
so.
love to see them wrap up this story and then to go to Rex and have a series for him.
Yeah.
Just to like,
Fill in those gaps.
yeah.
Rex and Omega.
Uh-huh.
Franklin, that's a Friday question, sir. He said, "Isn't
Where
it
is
a
it?
rumor
Oh.
that Loki is more than one season?" We're not
Yeah.
answering that till Friday. when
That's
we
right.
have
So
Your
everybody
Spoiler
make sure
Sideshow.
we get caught up with
Loki.
Loki because
Also, if it's a rumor, we don't have the definite answer.
Yeah.
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 Alex will have the definite answer by Friday.
I
Yeah.
in the book
Yep.
right next to Rhea Perlman. That's
Yeah.
like the most exciting thing for me because I'm like I haven't seen her since forever.
So good.
We've got some conflicting opinions. Some people think it's definitely going to be a one and done. Some people say, no, I don't think it's going to be a one and done. I think it's going to be like Rebels or Clone Wars where there's multiple seasons. So we'll see.
Liage
see.
B on YouTube has an interesting one if we want to pull that up.
Can't find it. Oh, thank
Got
you.
it.
Yes, there we go.
Oh, okay.
Vader will appear and wipe out the Bad Batch, and Ahsoka and Vader will have their final duel.
Nice.
Very possible, very possible. It does feel very much okay, we've had Rex, we've had Rafa and Trace. Where's Ahsoka?
Yeah.
But then it would have to kind of cross over with Rebels because
It would.
Hold on. Spoiler alert. They do fight in Rebels when she is older, so like this
Yes.
this would have to travel a few seasons.
Oh yeah.
travel.
Yeah, this
RV
would be not
Collective
their final
just
duel,
mentioned
but
it.
Yeah.
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 you have a clone era, very fresh hot off the presses Vader duel.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Right. That would be wicked.
And so now I see. Because you know what I can't like. What is always astonishing to me is thinking like Vader is alive, like now at this point, right? Like he's already Vader. Like I know he's he's Vader.
Yeah.
He's
He's just
proper.
getting comfortable in his Vader boots.
He's like,
Yeah, he sure is.
Yeah.
He's still adjusting all his air
Yep.
buttons.
Yeah. Like, is this the cloak I really want to go with?
He's just got like a bandolier of inhalers because he's a terrible breather.
yeah.
He's
It's
just getting
always.
settled.
It's before insulting director Krennic too.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
the sassy era.
Don't remind me of the sassy
A lot
era.
of people on Twitch are clarifying that Ahsoka didn't know anything about Vader pre-Rebels. Again, I mentioned earlier in the show, so if you're just joining us, I actually have not seen Rebels. I know, fake fan.
Name every rebel.
Vader Todd.
There's
Nice.
so many of them.
David Bowie.
Oh my gosh.
And
Very good call. I
Billy,
picked
was
up
it Billy Idol, Rebel Yell?
Yes.
Thank you.
One
There we go.
more.
We got them all. Those are all the rebels. Yeah. So I guess that would. But again, we're filling in so many different gaps and going into different places. I mean, we saw Caleb Doom at the beginning of this, and then we know who he grows up to be. So there's, but I'm sure we'll see Ahsoka in some form. But again, if it's not against Vader, it'll probably be in connection to the clones again.
Yeah, I think so.
Because she has a special connection with them. She always had.
They keep teasing it. Like first you see the sisters, and then you see Rex, and you get the idea that that's because of her that you're seeing these characters. So like, feel like that's gonna pay off.
All roads lead to Tano.
Yeah.
Tano.
Tano.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another character that's obviously been in the show. I think just the one or maybe 2 episodes is Fennec Shand, who was missing from this episode as well, because she just lost them on that previous planet.
Yeah, she was in episode 4, and then she was mentioned again in, was it the very end of 5 when they got Moochie back and the information they traded for.
Yes, they have so destroyed.
They do.
Yeah, that was the one that, is it Sid who said, it's got to be someone important if Fennec Shand's after him.
Yeah, I said you guys must be you must be real special. Right. But more importantly, she's after Omega. But she indicated, if the Bad Batch has someone like Fennec Shand, who is, again, as I mentioned earlier, new on the scene, but still already notorious.
Yeah, right. And maybe we may find out during this show why she's notorious.
Or maybe this is what makes her even more notorious by the time.
Make a choice here.
This may be what's establishing why she's so scary later because of
professional
whatever's going to happen here.
Do you think then we would be seeing the first connection between her and Boba Fett? Yeah. Because by the time she gets shot in the tummy in the Mando season 1,
spoilers.
Which I'm not even gonna bother to spoiler that. That was season 1 of the Mando.
I know.
That was like 7 years ago already.
Everybody knew when those Spurs walked up to her in the desert, oh, that's Boba Fett. And it's like, what? How did they
obvious?
So, how was it that obvious? I mean, other than like, oh, it's a bounty hunter thing, it's probably going to be Boba Fett.
Right.
You and me both, Matt.
Preaching to the choir, dude. Stephen Matthew asks an interesting question, which I hadn't even thought of.
Oh,
Could we see a young Din Djarin?
Somebody said something earlier. Here we go. Just like we did in Mandalorian, I do think we're going to get a lot of fan service. I agree completely. That we may see a lot of these.
The baby Rancor was
the baby Rancor. We all know what happens.
Sorry, I'm not going to get over how cute that was.
I
just love her and Wrecker going at it so slowly after dinner.
And then Wrecker, they're both just exhausted.
Yeah.
Day 10 of Spooktacular.
I agree, RMD Collective. That was a show that I wasn't super into in the beginning, but as it went on, it just got better and better. And then watching it again, it's a great show. It's just a little
hardcore into that.
And it doesn't have as many fans, as many people who are into it, but it's definitely.
When it was broadcasting, I didn't have access to it on television at first.
It does. There are slow parts, and you have to power through like the slowness of it. But then it hits, and then you're like, oh, and then you really get into it. Your voice may not get to that register that mine did, but you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Can we talk about this gonk droid, by the way, that I've been hyper focused on, like in every episode? I feel like, again, there's a rebel.
Spell them out.
I'm just like, I want to know what's going to happen because he's in every episode. He's being used as weightlifting, and he's being abused.
Yeah.
I think the abuse that gonk droid is going to make him turn, or make them turn. You know what I mean?
The gonk droid is who put out the hit on Omega.
And it's been confirmed that the gonk droid's name is Gonky.
Yeah,
it was in the subtitles.
Right. It was in the subtitles.
Or what was the other little thick boy from the other episode with the arms? What was his name? Someone will tell me. He was one of the droids.
What was happening in this episode?
It was the one with Fennec Shand. Where we first saw Fennec Shand.
Gonky is so cute.
I'll figure it out. It was adorable. Darth Gonk.
This is what we're leading up to. That's the finale.
Yeah.
Finally.
This all leads to. You just
All
had
roads
to-
lead to Darth Gonk.
Donkey is done.
Yeah.
Here's a theory for you. Maybe Omega is related to Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're going back to my theory
Yeah.
that she is. Well, not my theory. The theory that was brought up in one of our previous episodes, that she is a clone of Palpatine, and because he knows about Darth Plagueis the Wise. Come on.
Uh-huh.
She is Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, Gonki, like, listen, he's gotten so much abuse, and like you have what's his name from
Yes.
Oh no,
Poor
That's
thing.
sad.
Yeah.
What's the? I can't believe one of my favorite droids, and I can't even remember his name from Rebels.
Oh, Clink. Thank you.
Clink.
That's what I was
Yeah. Thank you,
Chopper?
Felix.
Chopper.
Chopper.
Yeah.
Chopper was such
Yeah.
a big part of Rebels. Like, I want this droid to take on a bigger role. I don't know.
Mhm.
That's my thing. I'm hyper focused. It's on the top of all of my notes. Every time I see Gonki, I write it down.
Now I need a Gonki to put over here so I can have Gonki and Grogu. Hanging out.
in one year
GK.
you're gonna be
Donkey Kong. Sorry.
no
Gonki Kong.
in 1 year there's gonna be a video on YouTube that's the super cut of every Gonki appearance, and
Yeah.
Alex will be the one to have made that.
Yeah, I will
Yeah,
make that
100%.
absolutely 100%. You got it.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Benjamin
Perlman
S113, is that true? Rhea Perlman voiced
Rhea-
Chopper?
I didn't know
Wait,
that.
I thought-
Huh.
Is that
Didn't
true?
know that.
The more
Is he
you
just
know.
trying to get no?
The more
He's messing
you
with
know.
me. They're messing with me because I'm obsessed with Chopper and Rhea Perlman. It's
Oh,
written
and you
all
know
over my notebook.
He says no.
Torturing me. I was
Well,
like,
we
what?
all
My
looked up
favorite
gullible in the
character.
dictionary. Just now.
And I looked it up and it gave me Chopper, I think, from One Piece. Is it Chopper, the
okay.
little
Yeah.
deer
Oh.
guy from One Piece?
Yeah.
Mine was just all Harley Davidsons.
Oh,
Chopper.
Google, if it's to be believed, says Dave Filoni is Chopper.
Oh,
Okay.
Dave Filoni is Chopper.
That tracks.
That,
I mean-
yeah, that is true. He had you had me. Benjamin.
Okay, then-
you had me for
yeah.
a second,
Yeah, we were like, really? I mean, who knows?
but I do remember that it was Dave Filoni is Chopper.
Uh-huh.
Did you know Chopper was voiced by Dave Bautista?
Dave Bautista.
Really? We're live. We can just say it. You're fine.
Yeah. That's
Hi,
fine.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Hey, I'm sure she's watching.
She is.
With all this stellar,
boy.
Email
Well,
conspiracy theorizing.
Oh, well, we have accurately covered everything from episode 7.
I think we covered episodes 8 and 9 a little too, so we can just
Yeah, I
take
think
a
we're
break
good.
next week.
Darth Gonki.
Yeah.
Let's get it trending. Make it happen.
Hashtag Darth Gonki.
Darth Gonki.
Who was that? That was Laura Keyless, right?
Uh-huh.
Laura, get that trending. Take the credit for it.
Yeah, I heard Bill. Bill Burr's going to be in the next episode.
You looked at this.
Really?
You looked at the same one I did. I was like, oh, there she is again.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Wow.
I'm excited.
Okay.
We
Let's-
spoiled that.
Let's do closing thoughts here, not to steal
Yeah.
it from you, Paul. I want closing thoughts.
Yeah.
Who do we think
Please.
what do we think the focus of the next episode is going to be? Because they're very tight-lipped about like what's coming up in the next
Yeah.
episode and what the title is. and
I
stuff.
think Crosshair. I think.
Yeah,
they're
I think-
like,
I think-
okay. Now that we know what happened to Wrecker, let's see,
Mhm.
figure out what happened to Crosshair.
Right.
Yeah.
because
I totally agree.
They
And then I
took the
think
focus off
episode
of
9
that
is going to be our first battle with them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like,
because
Yeah.
I feel like they focused away from that side of the story of
Yeah.
that plot, and now they're gonna bring it. They're gonna bring it back because like let's check in with Crosshair. You know.
Crosshair rolls in and he goes, "These are my new friends. They're much
Yeah.
cooler than you, and they let me keep my bunk."
these are my college friends.
Yeah. Go to another school. Now you never met them.
Oh.
You wouldn't know
My
them.
girlfriend from the Outer Rim. She's totally real. Just never seen her before.
Oh, and wait, you know what? Before we completely wrap up, did anyone pick up the aliens reference, like
Or the
feeling?
vibe. Yeah.
the
of
vibe
like,
of aliens during that
That's-
part that you hated so much, Autumn, where it's Wrecker chasing little, like almost Newt. She was almost like Newt.
I've been getting Newt vibes since episode 3, where
Yeah.
where it was like stay in the ship and like the power goes out and she goes down into that little hive and we've got a puppy.
hello, Ganache.
But yeah, I've been getting like, and I don't know if it's just because she's a young girl in a space environment or what, but I keep getting recurring Newt from Aliens vibes with Omega as well, which is driving me insane personally.
This was heavy because she was being hunted and hiding from a big monstrous thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is
Right, we got
very
some,
alien.
Yeah.
Very
we
alien.
got some fan theories.
Sorry, I know we were trying to wrap up, but that was in my head, and I was like, I got to get it out.
We got some fan theories. Gonna show up and see teenage Han Solo.
Thank you, Leo Monaghan.
She's gonna show some of her. We're gonna see some of her abilities come out.
Thank you, JJ Joe.
What else?
I'm gonna call my shot.
Okay, do it.
I say by either at episode 10 or by episode 10, we're gonna see Omega's force powers.
You think something? Yeah.
They're there.
Yeah, I think it's something because I thought we were gonna see it when Wrecker was chasing her.
Yeah.
I thought something was gonna happen there, and he was gonna, shoot the blaster at her, and she was gonna stop it or something.
Right.
I thought that was gonna happen.
We didn't see it yet because her main focus was protecting him. Like she was trying to save him while protecting herself. I think we're gonna see it when she doesn't have that barrier. And he's going to try to protect everybody else and herself, like some other force coming at all of them.
Well, it would be cool, I think, in a storytelling capacity to tip that hand at episode 7 where there are 9 more episodes left to go. That's way too soon. That is way too soon for what they're trying to accomplish.
It could have happened and she not tell anyone.
How much everything was being drawn out, but Wrecker would have known. Wrecker would have known.
We think Ahsoka's going to, we're hoping Ahsoka will show up
I do think she is going to show up. I kind of hope she doesn't. I think the show can hold up on its own without her, but I think she's going to show up.
Ahsoka Tan, no thank you.
No, what about Omega Force Lightning? That would be crazy, Jack. Yeah. Jason he thinks that she's not. We're going to find out she does not have that.
Unlimited power.
Unlimited power.
I'm in the camp of I would prefer for her not to be force sensitive. I think that's great, but I think I want to see them lean more into the aspect of what have they created in her that is different than all the other cloning.
Yeah, he's saying it may not necessarily be in space wizardry. Yeah,
there are different levels of the force. Like I feel like hers is intuitive.
Space wizards, space warlocks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just all depends on how big your hat is. So, it would be cool to see Omega short out Crosshair's chip with force lightning.
Ooh.
Oh man, but that would fry his poor little bean.
Well, yeah, but his chip's gone.
Yeah.
So
you win some, you lose some.
Baby in the bathwater.
No harm, no foul. Well, we have it's about 5, so that has been our show, everyone, because we had
spoiled it.
Alex, do it.
Wait, I'm not ready. Hold on, you ready?
Wait.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. I just wanted to use it again. Imagine if instead of force lightning, that was all you could do is just tell people like spoiler alert.
And like
force
the words flew out. The words flew out of your fingers and actually impacted people's heads. That's a good weapon.
Like that one manifestation of Crazy Jane in Doom Patrol where every
Doom Patrol was a knife.
A knife.
Silver
we need a Doom Patrol. We need a Doom Patrol show. Okay, anyway.
Please, season 3's
Alex,
coming up.
you are just making work for us.
Yeah.
Bud.
Okay, one quick last point
that
Mike has made. He's hoping that there's no Jedi involved at all, and it's right after the Purge. So I don't think there should be any Jedi involved. So yeah, it's interesting that if we just, as he says, if we explore it, if we explore not any Jedi at all, just these other avenues of Star Wars universe.
I'm all about not showing the Force and all. Like one of my favorite Star Wars books is called Scoundrels, and it's like it's not canon, but it's basically Ocean's 11 in Star Wars universe with Han Solo and Winter and
there's
Chewbacca.
No Jedi, there's no Force.
No Jedi.
It's just
Sometimes you just
my favorite part
need
of
a
Star
little
Wars.
bit of that.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Well,
we did it.
We've got
something.
A little bit more of Bad Batch next week.
Yeah.
But in the meantime,
Friday.
On Friday, if you want to talk full spoilers, we have another episode of Let Your Spoiler Sideshow, but not for Bad Batch. We are going to the thing that is like 2 clicks right over on the Disney Plus app. We're talking Marvel, and we're talking Loki. We will be covering episode 1 and 2. Yes, and 2.
And basically all of the
Wednesday.
MCU is fair game again. So
so if there's anything in the MCU that you have not seen, start now.
Marvel Comics junk, if we can pull that in too.
Yes,
Amy, we will pull that in.
Friday.
If. So yeah, that's on Friday. That is a Friday problem. So you have from now until Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific
really
Standard
quick,
Time.
watch the entire MCU.
Everything. Watch everything real fast.
Read it all, watch it all. Yeah.
Someone will do it. But in the meantime, thank you guys all so much for joining us for our first day of Level Up Week. I hope that you guys all enjoyed yourself. Again, there is still time to register for the event. Head over to side.show/levelup21 to register. It's free. You get exclusive giveaway and reward codes opportunities and some other goodies. But you got to register just to find out. And then head over to side.show/levelupblog21. Bookmark that, save it, because that is going to be your guide, your holocron? I'm going to go with holocron. It's going to be your holocron for the entire Level Up Week. Now, again, as mentioned, this is our last show of the day, so any compliments that you'd like to get out about the day, do them now, please. Please. Right now. Yes, about Alex's. Oh, Autumn, you missed it earlier. I said, I was like, Alex, or is that the bad guy from Sweet Tooth?
Oh, yeah.
It is. Put the glasses on. Yeah. I love it. Get a big jacket.
I guess that's kind of a Sweet Tooth spoiler, but that comic's been out for a very long time. So, thank you guys all so very much. We appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. for... oh, Alex, you know what? Let's bring up the schedule real fast. See you at 9 a.m. for New at Sideshow Live. We'll cover everything that is happening that day and some other stuff that we've got going on at Sideshow. Then, of course, at 10 a.m. we've got Unsealed and Revealed. If you are a fan of Destiny and Resident Evil, you're definitely not going to want to miss that show. At noon, we've got an episode of Win, Lose, or Die by our very own Jasmine Edwards. That is going to be a really fun show, and Amy Cassandra Martinez is going to be sort of hosting us through that. I get to just react.
It's called like Spooky Scary Side Quest or something like that.
Yeah, the Spooky Side Quest, I think. It's spooky, and it is a side quest, and it's by Jasmine, so you may cry. And then at 3 p.m. wrapping up the day with Trivial Cahoots. That is our totally 80s trivia with me, Alex Aronovich. And Krista, of course. That's going to be really, really fun. So if you are a fan of video games, specifically in the decade that sort of blew video games up and really brought them to the forefront, buckle up and come correct, because you could win some rewards, maybe a fun, maybe some other fun stuff there is to win.
Thank you. A good reminder from Michael. Good soldiers follow Sideshow. So don't forget to follow us and like us right down here, because every time you like us, Gonky gets his wings, and we want that to happen. So make sure you hit like, hit subscribe, turn on your notifications, set your notifications on so that you can catch all the great content we've got for you all week.
Poor Gonky's like, I have 89 wings. What is happening?
What do I do with all of these?
Unlimited power.
Dwayne Madison does have our first theory for Friday. Miss Minute, Mephisto?
Confirmed.
Is Gonky Mephisto?
We'll get into that later.
Mephisto.
Well, speaking of Mephisto, and a perfect segue, thank you all so very much for joining us today for Let Your Spoiler Sideshow. We talked episode 7 of The Bad Batch. Next Monday, we'll be back talking more Bad Batch. That's going to be episode 8 and everything else. So thank you all so very much. I hope you enjoyed Level Up Week. Day 1, we'll see you tomorrow. And as always, don't forget to let your Geek Side show. Bye, everyone.
May the Force be with you guys.
May the Force be with you. Am I pressing the button?